push me, and then just hurt me, till I can get my satisfaction. 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 Push me, and push me, and push me, and push satisfaction, 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 satisfaction. And just hurt me, till I can get my satisfaction, 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 satisfaction.
Welcome to Raw Tactics of Volume 22. I am your host, Type Zero, and we just heard SD's Satisfaction remix, the original, of course, by Benny Benassi. I don't know why I started the show off with this track. It was a laugh. It's fun. It's hard. Yeah. We got somewhat of a special show for you this time around. We've got the United Maniacs, a new hardcore duo hitting the scenes here in Eastern North America. These guys are hilarious. These guys are fun. They're hard-hitting. And, I thought I'd give them both the opportunity to speak their mind and go a little bit off the record, on the record, shall we say. This is probably one of the funnest times I've had people in the studio to do the interviews. These guys are a riot, and it was a pleasure to have them here. So, without any delay, let's jump into it.
August 1st, 2014, Mavericks, Ottawa. Overdrive Canada presents Deathmatch. Get ready for a musical fight to the death. Team Blue, Darkest, Case Tom, Tamarack, Type Zero, versus Team Red. Here's no dark blood too, no Romania, Dark Sun. Choose your side. Deathmatch. 221 Rideau Street, Ottawa. 16 plus. Valid government ID required. Follow the Facebook event page for ticket information. Brought to you by Overdrive Canada. It's time to play.
So I'd like to welcome the United Maniacs in the studio. Welcome for showing up, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we have two local boys. We got Eric and Damien, who have recently come together to create a new hardcore gabber duo. And looks like they're really starting to take off and take things by storm. They've been everywhere. Everybody's talking about them, and I know you guys have a couple gigs coming up. But before we get to it, what got you guys into hardcore?
take it from here.
Well, me personally, basically it all started at one New Year's Eve party. Showed up and had live music entertainment with a DJ setup, and I enjoyed all forms of music of electronica, but mainly hardcore just grasped me, and as soon as I spotted it, I just decided that that's what I was going to do. I was going to start playing hardcore.
And strippers.
And that as well. That was before the music, though.
Oh no, as for me, man, like I started listening to hardcore a couple of years ago. Once one of my best friends showed me a track by Angerfist. I think it was Dance with the Wolves, and the track was cool. I liked it, and it just kind of grew on me, and so I started looking into more and more of it. And it's fast forward a couple of years later, I started playing it.
Well, there you go.
I got
sometimes that's all it takes, just that one little hook, and suddenly
track. It's addictive, man.
It is. Hard dance definitely does have that effect on people.
No, it's like once you go like that, like fast at that tempo, it's really hard to like come back and listen, or just try something that's a little bit slower. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get you. So you mentioned Angerfist. I mean, between the two of you, I'm sure there's a lot of artists that kind of stuck out in the genres. What are kind of your go-to artists when somebody's asking, like, what's hardcore? What is this all about?
It's interesting because like whenever we're playing together, like it always comes to a point like, oh man, I have that track. Oh man, I have that track too. Then it's that odd moment where like, who the hell is this guy? Like, I have no clue who this guy is, but he plays awesome music. Oh cool, let's play his music. Great.
That's the great part about playing with other DJs, especially with me and Eric coming as a duo, is like, especially if we're planning a set or recording a set and hearing certain tracks that we've never heard before, we get to experience new producers and expand on our library of music just throughout one another, because just because you do so much research doesn't mean you're going to find everything there is. We obviously have a lot of producers that overlap for some of our favorites, but then again, every now and then he'll come up with something, or I'll come up with something that we've just not heard before and just fall in love with and totally want to get in on that because it's just really awesome music.
That's true. That's absolutely true. I mean, there is so many new guys starting to put out music these days, and I know, speaking from a hardstyle perspective, I mean, with the genre blowing up, everybody's just getting into it left, right, and center. I mean, are you guys finding that with hardcore as well, with the proliferation of hard dance?
Yeah, man. Like we're looking at the Next Cyclone Records. It's a sub-label from Trackstorm Records, and they've been signing guys that have just been put out so many good things, like guys like Invader and Excite and Navarro. Like they've been putting out some really good stuff, and these are guys that are just like our age, haven't been around for a while, but they put out so much good shit.
Cool. So, I mean, you mentioned that. I say you. I should really start saying your name, Damien. You mentioned that. I mean, you kind of were exposed to hardcore at your first party. I mean, was that actually the first event that you ever went to completely?
No, like I'd gone to other events or so-called raves before. I hadn't been exposed to hardcore or gabber, if you will, before. Like I had experienced other genres that I definitely liked and enjoyed and, danced my ass off all night long. But it was interesting and it was fun because like this was the first time I went to a party and they actually had DJs there, and there were people that I knew, or I didn't know them yet, but I ended up meeting them and it got to know them personally on a different level than just going to a party and having some random dude who plays a set and afterwards like going up to him saying, oh, I really loved it, it was nice meeting you, blah blah. But then next time I'm going to see him, it's probably going to be another event where I'm only going to talk to him for a split second and tell him I enjoyed his set, and got to know these people on another level. And started partying with them and got to learn the functions and what it is to mix music, and it just grasped me on a whole other level compared to what it was when I just used to go and party and dance.
And strippers
always. Don't forget those.
So was it one of those guys that actually trained you how to DJ, or did you kind of pick it up on your own?
It is them. Like the thing is, like when it comes to getting started, it's so expensive to get gear and this and that. So I know everybody doesn't have the luxury of this, but I basically observed them for about a year or so, a year and a half, on what they were doing, and finally, from demonstrating my dedication to wanting to do this, they finally allowed me to, because like I learned on vinyls, so I got to actually experience trying it. They trusted me enough to handle the equipment without totally damaging shit, which can be quite worrisome.
Keep the drinks away from the decks.
Exactly.
Don't drop the needle.
Yeah.
Careful when you're back spinning.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like if you're playing on CDJs, it's a little less worrisome, but with the vinyl, it's you got to be very careful and delicate and whatnot with the equipment. And I kind of just took it from there. And as much as they show me the do's and do nots of what it is to mix and how to do so, essentially it's just putting in the man hours, the dedication and persistence on learning how to do it. You have to train yourself essentially more than anything.
Absolutely.
When I started, it's all about dedication.
Oh yeah, I mean, Eric, you're probably one of the guys that I know that spends the most amount of time practicing. I mean, I know you're putting in like half an hour to an hour every day at least.
Yeah, like it was just like last night. Last night, right before bed, man, I was like, you know what? I want to mix like 3 tracks. Even if I have to mix 3 tracks, I'll do that before I go to bed. It's it's like having a cigarette before you go to bed. It becomes a habit, and you just kind of have to do it.
Kids, don't smoke.
But crack is okay.
I'll debate as to whether or not I want to edit that one out. So, I mean, both of you have been DJing for many years on your own. With that, what's been kind of like the highlight of your individual careers so far?
I think for me, the biggest highlight of the past 3 years that I've been DJing, it's definitely been playing at Blacklight. I got that gig because of. Oh, I know you feel bad about that. I'm sorry. But
the story behind that is Eric won this awesome opportunity to play at Blacklight. We're a whole gang in Quebec City, and we were super stoked about it. And the fucking streets down there are so confusing that we completely missed his set. We showed up literally 5 minutes after he played, on the verge of crying because we felt bad, and we're very disappointed.
Yeah, so that was the highlight, was being able to play at Blacklight, one of the events that I've been hearing about for years. And I've always wanted to play there, and there's a competition comes around, and I sign up for it, and I got the spot. 6 hours of driving later, and me being a nervous wreck.
Oh yeah,
got to play in a very nice setup though. It was nice. It was cool.
Sweet. And Damien, yourself?
I've recently only started playing out within the last I'd say year and a half or so. My biggest opportunity so far was probably the New Resolution, either that one or the Adventure Time. I got to play alongside of Kenny Ken, which is a big headliner, which was really fun. Unfortunately, I played at the same time as him, but regardless, I still had a packed room, played a wicked set, and had an amazing time. So far it's been going pretty well. Consistent gigs, and just kind of taking off from here.
Sweet. And what's the goal with the duo, with the United Maniacs? The
goal with the duo, well, I like to think of it, is hardcore is not a very much what's the word I'm looking for? Sensible genre? Accessible genre to listen to, but I find that the people that like the genre really like it, and they
would you say they're hardcore for it?
I would say that. I would agree.
You're terrible with puns.
I'm aware.
Yeah. So, anyways, moving along. We make it lose a train of thought, man. Jeez.
What's the goal? Where you guys aiming for?
So I think the goal for United Maniacs is that it's about pushing the sound, promoting the sound, and the whole idea that two heads think and promote better than one. Because hardcore is not a very accessible genre, but I find that the people that like it really like it. They're stoked about it, and they can't get enough of it. It's addictive, and so
One thing I find when it comes to hardcore, like a lot of people would consider it an acquired taste. Although I have found that, you know, just from exposing it to certain people around me involved in my life, because like I'm just in love with hardcore, even if they don't like it at first, they get used to it, and then they start liking it. You know, like eventually it grows on them, and like that's kind of one of the things me and Eric want to push out and get people into, like, you know, like you were talking about earlier. How hardstyle has just blown into this huge thing and everybody's just loving it. We'd like to see that happen for hardcore. Me and Eric are both very passionate about it. We love the music, and we just like having a good time, like having people come out, have a good time, party, and enjoy the music, you know. One thing, I'm losing my train of thought too now.
That happens.
What was I saying? One thing I kind of dislike about I love hardcore and everything about it, but one thing I dislike about society is like most people who don't know hardcore or what it's about, or you know what it is, associated with like aggressive or violent, or you know, just like you have to be fucked up to like that music, you know. And me personally, like I don't even do drugs, I don't drink, I'm like straight edge totally, and I love that music. I eat, sleep, and shit that stuff, you know what I mean? It's my life essence, and I can't get enough of it, and I'd like to, it'd be nice for us to be able to expose what it really is, you know what I mean?
Pass on that message to other people, you know. You get people into that sound through to that type of promotion. You know, you're like, hey, you don't have to be, you know, screwed up out of your mind, you know, to be, in order to enjoy that sound. You just have to, well, have a lot of energy for one, but you have to have a lot of energy, but at the same time, you know, you just gotta close your eyes and just dance. You know, you just dance the night away. You don't even care, don't even think about what's going on, just dance.
Do you think you guys are facing with the similar stigma that, you know, like thrasher metal has, or like the deathcore stuff has, in terms of the negative public image? I mean, you know, right off the bat when you mention things like industrial music, people start thinking of Marilyn Manson and that kind of imagery. Do you think that the imagery is actually working against you guys? Is that kind of the thing that you're trying to fight against?
A little bit, but at the same time, no.
It's for the people who are unexposed and unknowledgeable when it comes to it. You know what I mean? I've watched like certain documentaries and stuff about somebody kind of in Europe going to find out what this whole society is about, and realizing that even he had certain thoughts about what it was and what these people were going to be like, and finding out that they're all awesome and just wanting to party and have a good time, and it's like a giant family that comes together to just have an amazing night. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I watched that video. Is that the big night out, Gabber? Gabber party,
yeah.
Big night out. Yeah, it was. No, I mean, I think one of the guys in that video mentioning that he was working like 12-hour shifts and just coming to parties and just listening to Gabber just to relax.
I get that. I think that's probably one of the main staples of the underground scene, and most of the underground music is that escape from the day-to-day drudgery of the 9 to 5 and sometimes more.
God, life sucks.
But strippers are awesome.
Yes, strippers are always awesome. Don't forget that most important thing in life. But seriously, in Ottawa, hardcore isn't, I'd say, as big as certain other genres. But even if you look at the few hardcore DJs that we have in Ottawa, if you had somebody who had no knowledge on the music and was in a room with, let's say, 10 people, and like 5 of them, let's say, were these hardcore DJs, they probably have a hard time picking them out, because the ones that I know are these super laid back. They have a really professional job. One works at a bank, you know, super clean cut, and just, it kind of sounds like I said cunt, super clean cut, and you know what I mean, super laid back guy, super passive and calm and a nice person to talk to, have good conversations, and yet he plays this hard bass kicking music and just like rocks it out every time he plays, you know.
And one of the things that I like about hardcore is that it I think that people like to think about and create images about what it is and what the kind of people that listen to that type of music, and then be blown away by the total opposite. You know, you see guys like Neophyte, for example. Yeah, the guy might be 6 foot tall, Dutch, angry looking dude, but he's the nicest guy ever. Or on the other side of the fence, you have Miss K8, really, really, really nice girl,
Gorgeous,
beautiful girl. Again, plays the meanest music on the planet.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget the one time that she and Angerfist played in Ottawa, and all I see is like this tiny 5'4" girl with a pink dress and
sparkly
Converse
pink dress.
Sparkly pink dress.
She looked like she was ready for prom.
Exactly. Yeah, it was nice, just perfect makeup and just sparkly dress, Converse shoes. Gets on stage, and the first thing I hear is "fuck you!" That was priceless.
Yeah, it's there was a certain level of irony of having the big hardcore guy Angerfist with the hockey mask and the look and the feel and all of that, and he played probably one of the best sets I've ever heard. And then 5 minutes after he's done, Miss Kate comes on board and gets on the decks and is like, "Holy crap, she's playing so much harder than Angerfist is." It was insane.
It was a good night, very good night.
It was very cool. All right, well, we're gonna come back with the United Maniacs after the Type 0 mix. So we'll check back with these guys in about half an hour, and we'll go from there. See what their ambitions are, and we'll poke at them a little bit more.
Just not in the wiener.
Not allowed to make mistakes. Keep it coming. We're in touch, happy weights. Keep it coming. Did you know the time is now? Keep it coming. Never ever take us down. Keep it coming. Take this like it's understood. Keep it coming. Battles in the neighborhood. Keep it coming, did you know the time is now? Keep it coming, never ever take us down. Keep it coming, better do your last pray. Keep it coming, pop the bombs away. coming. Keep it calm. Keep it coming. Keep it calm.
Central BCC, multiple. Central BCC, multiple SWAT units responding code 3 to CP at 127th and Adelaide. Indicate situation. Multiple SWAT units responding code 3 to CP at 127th.
Close your eyes. I want you to pretend you're in an empty room. The entire room is pitch black.
free now. I am free now. I am free now. Don't have to worry about anything at all. Living my life the way it was meant to be. Forget about the past, all the anxiety, all the pain. I am finally free, totally fucking paralyzed by the rules of society. Escape into my own world, the world of Heartstyle. It is what I live for. I am free now. Don't have to worry about anything at all. Anything at all.
every Friday from 8 p.m. until 10 p.m. Check out Raw Tactics. If you're one of those people that just has to live at 150 BPM, featuring the best in hardstyle and raw style, hosted by myself, Type Zero, and featuring a guest mix from a new artist every single episode. And we're back with the United Maniacs. Hope you guys enjoy the mix. Before we get going, I just we touched on this a little briefly earlier, but I just kind of want to give out a couple shout outs to some of the local guys that, especially over the last like 20 years, have really kind of supported the hardcore scene here in Ottawa. Guys like still playing to this day, EXT. We got guys like Demise, Dr. Uggs / Mad Russian. Yeah. He seems to go between the two names. I can't keep track. Before that, we had guys like The Middleman. We had guys like Jorah Kai. Great guys that have spent really a good chunk of their lives dedicated to this cause, and to this day are still kind of going strong. So just want to give out a shout out to them, and hopefully we can have one or two of them appear on the show at a later date. But for now, let's get back into it while Eric dies in the corner.
Yeah, we're the guests here. Don't die. We're not done yet.
No, man, we'll save that for the show.
All right. We've preserved you. So, part of the fun things of a duo act is that you can do a lot more on stage. I mean, I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, that you guys are gonna be taking turns mixing back and forth.
I mean, we've played around with a couple of formats. Like 2 tracks for one, 2 tracks for the other. But I think that so far the format that's worked the best for us has one track, then one track, and you always going back and forth, back to back.
Do a full back to back set.
Exactly, it gives you more of a dynamic feeling to it, and plus when you look at it, you get to play more tracks in a set. You know.
I'm also like extremely ADD, so I would really hate to get bored while I'm waiting to play another track.
This is why we bring this. That's when we bring the mic in and just scream at the crowd.
Yeah, and hopefully not do stupid stuff like fart in it.
That's actually a good idea. I'll put that on the notebook.
Add a little distortion. Good to
go. There's a new kick drum we're working on. It's so badass. Literally.
Yeah. So, tell me a little bit more about this stage show. What are you guys going to be doing besides just going back to back 1 for 1?
Well, essentially, one of the main things why me and Eric even were so attracted to each other in a platonic way, and as DJs, basically.
Bullshit.
Yeah. I knew that was going to be set up. Anyhow.
Dick.
One thing is just that when I've gone to see Eric play or Eric's seen me play, one thing that I know that we just love about one another is just the intensity of the how we rock out on stage. You know what I mean? Like when we're playing our set, how we're so into it, and we just bring a whole other level of energy, strictly from behind the decks. And it's one thing that when we combine together, I think we'll have just an amazing turnout. You know what I mean? It's just gonna be really hard, really full of energy, and hopefully pump up the crowd and get people into it regardless of whether they like the music or not.
Oh, it's what I've been saying to people, and my message as a DJ is you go out, forget about life and forget about the past, and you just forget about what you're gonna do tomorrow morning, and who gives a crap about what you gotta do tomorrow morning or what you have to do in 10 minutes from now, what you did like 5 minutes ago. What matters is that moment. You live in the moment. Just to quote Showtech for a little bit.
GDX.
Yes. So yeah, you live in the moment, and that's my message. You live in the moment and you dance. You lose yourself in the music. That's my message. It's energy. Music for me is energy.
So if you guys are promoting this high energy kind of sound and this high energy behind the decks, why the straight jackets?
Well, I mean, we are the United Maniacs after all, you know what I mean? Me and Eric are very down-to-earth people, and, just like...
A little bit.
Yeah, for the most part. Let's not come out too crazy. But, we want to have a nice theme and whatnot that's going to be interesting and grasping to the eye. You know what I mean? Like when you see these people who aren't just wearing this like, you know, random like nice t-shirt and jeans or whatnot, we're gonna have like a nice get up and masks and whatnot. That's just gonna be like, wow, who the hell are these people, man? Like this is fucked up. And just hopefully to get some people intrigued, you know. And not only that, but I just think it looks cool. Like personally, like when I've gone to whatever shows, regardless of whether it's electronic music or not, like having a whole get up and whatnot just adds to the theme and to the whole ambience of the night and whatnot.
Right off the bat, I think of like bands like Guar.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
it adds to the show. You know, you want to put on not just an awesome set to the ears, but you want to put on an awesome show for the eyes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Just like we've, you know, music has brought in, you know, lasers, pyrotechnics, all these things to, you know, visually grasp people as well as with the music. It's just to add to that.
No, I was really sad when I found out that I couldn't just pick up a handheld smoke machine.
Yeah, sorry. It doesn't work that way.
No, unfortunately not. I should probably build one. I get your dad to build one.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and after a couple people die, you might stop using it, hopefully.
I don't know.
Well, you know, you have to reach at least a dozen.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I mean, that's when it becomes a sport.
That's right. That's right.
0 days.
It's only fun until somebody gets hurt. Then it's a sport.
That's
It's
right.
a sport.
That's right.
Man, we're fucked up.
So, I mean, I know you guys have mentioned to me about getting personalized face masks done. I'll be honest, personally, I see that as kind of a nod to some of the bigger guys up in the industry, like guys like we mentioned earlier, Angerfist,
Yep.
the Art of Fighters.
Art of Fighters, and Hallucinator as well. You know, those guys, like the masks. The mask has always been a staple sort of idea in the hardcore scene.
Yeah, especially hardcore.
Oh, it adds, like again, it adds to the show. I mean, it adds to the show for the eyes. You know, it's nice. Like if you see Angerfist, for example, like we're going to be putting him on the spot and just putting him as a prime example. You know, it's cool to see, you know, a guy that's, you know, playing this really awesome music. At the same time, it's even cooler to see a guy that looks like Jason Voorhees playing that same type of music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, the thing with Angerfist is, I mean, the mask is Angerfist.
Exactly.
You could almost put anybody behind that mask.
That's the idea.
And it wouldn't, like, assuming of course they can mix and are a good DJ, that they could essentially be Angerfist.
Yeah, I actually, that's kind of one of the ideas that I like about it. Like me and Eric did a lot of brainstorming over, you know, the name and what was going to be like our theme, if we were going to have a get up or not, like if we're going to have masks or not, all these different ideas. And I liked the idea of it because, you know, me and Eric also have our own individual thing where I don't wear a mask, I don't have a get up, I just dress in whatever I feel like, show up at the event, play my set and whatnot. And what's going to be cool is when me and Eric are playing as a duo, we're going to have a certain look. So when people, you know, hopefully if people get to know us and take the time into coming out to see our sets and whatnot, they're going to know us with these masks, you know.
Yeah, Maniacs is about the idea. You know, it's the idea of it's not the idea of raging. Yes, has some part in it, but you know, you rage, but you rage in a way that it's not to get fucked up, but rage. No, just rage to the music and just rage to yourself. You know, it's not about anger. It's not about hatred or raging. It's just pure energetic rage, if that makes any sense.
But like
cut loose a little bit.
A good, yes, exactly, a good positive rage.
Exactly.
Me personally, like if I'm, you know, dealing with a certain, you know, life crisis, if you want to call it, honestly, if I like take a few minutes, pop on some really hard-hitting gabber songs that I like, and just go on a walk, I feel like I've just gone through an insane meditation afterwards, just through listening to the music. You know, that's what I was talking about earlier. People sometimes associate this music with very angry and violent and whatnot, and I think it's one of the reasons why I'm totally not like that, is because like any form of anger or violence that would build within me is released when I go and dance and stomp the floor or while I'm dancing, you know what I mean, to this music. It's what helps liberate me of all these horrible things that, you know, unfortunately are part of everybody's daily lives in one form or another, but it just helps me deal with that.
It's your therapy.
It's therapy. Exactly. It's musical therapy.
Yep.
All right, there you go. We can now call them therapists.
Oh man,
we want to get paid, and we do not prescribe drugs.
That's a scary thought of me being a therapist.
It explains the straitjacket a little bit.
Exactly.
You know, it's screwed up when you go see a therapist and he's the one wearing the straitjacket.
Yeah, a little bit. So we touched on this a little bit earlier. I mentioned hardstyle is becoming more and more mainstream. It is blowing in popularity, and with that, a lot of the hardcore guys have started kind of branching off into the slower BPMs. I mean, hardcore generally tends to sit around that 180 plus BPM mark. What do you guys think about some of these names starting to drop down to like 155, closer to the hardstyle sound?
It's a double-edged sword because it's good because it gives variety to the genre. It adds to the hardcore genre because then it's you stop associating the genre with a specific tempo. Mm-hmm. You know, you think of drum and bass. It's that specific tempo. You know, it's that those sharp stabs that it's specific to the genre. With hardcore, the sky's the limit. It's your imagination. You want to make a hardcore track at 150 or 148 or 160 or 200, it doesn't really matter. You know, it's all about the core. You know, it's the distortion, it's the kick drum that gives the genre its identity. It's not the tempo anymore, which I think adds a lot to it. At the same time, it's kind of bad because you start stepping into other areas, and you always get those guys you always get the haters that kind of
you're gonna get haters regardless of what you do.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's inevitable. One thing I find interesting about it is for those people who do like to intermesh genres, it definitely opens a lot more doors for that without having to make that much more emphasis on the genre. Like basically when you're mixing, you can make a smoother mix from one genre to the next. And generally speaking, when you look at hardstyle and hardcore, they're almost like sibling genres. Like they have a lot of similar essentials within the sound of it, you know what I mean? Obviously the BPMs are different, but and it's just gonna hopefully open doors for some people who want to jump into that, hopefully maybe even create something new, it might be really fun with that. And even at that hardcore, like I recall some like vinyl like that I would get, that let's say it had 3 tracks. One was pressed at 160, one was pressed at 175, and the other one was pressed at like 180, and sometimes even more variations. Hardcore's already been in all sorts of different BPMs, like ranging from the 160 to the 180, and sometimes even more into like the 200s, like Eric was talking about earlier. So now it's just kind of going like reaching out a little lower into the lower BPMs.
So we talked a little bit about this on the break, and I know this is a touchy subject for both of you, so I'm going to ask you both. When somebody asks you what's the difference between hardstyle and hardcore, what do you tell them?
I told them that the main difference is the specific sound of hardstyle and specific sound of hardcore. Because hardstyle, the way I see it, hardstyle has a list of rules. Like hardstyle follows a specific set of rules that some producers tend to break. Not all of them. Some go experimental, but anyways, it follows a certain path. It has a certain structure, and it just follows a certain set of rules. It's a little bit expected from a genre that's gaining a lot of popularity. You get more and more popular, the sound tends to get more and more formulaic, exactly. With hardcore, like I was saying before, it has rules, but they're very loose rules. Essentially, if you could name one thing that hardcore does, is it's a distorted kick drum. And you know what? You can put a distorted kick drum at any tempo you like. It doesn't really matter. So you can't associate hardcore with a specific tempo anymore. that's what I tell people. You listen to that sort of vibe in hardcore and that sort of vibe in hardstyle, and those are the main big differences.
So do you? It's mostly a feeling type of thing that they convey very different emotions and different vibes.
Yeah, there's the general, like we were talking about before, the general rule that for the most part, hardstyle is played at a lower BPM than hardcore, and hardcore can range from 160 to 180 as the general BPM. Also, like a lot of hardstyle generally has, it also has like a distorted kick drum, but it has a melody within the kick drum line, as where hardcore, it's you have variations in it, but it generally has a main like pitch, I guess you'd call it, within the kick drum that just stays within that, and that's what that song sounds like for the most part. And then you have synths and whatnot that create a melody that are usually can be very versatile in using with whether it's hardstyle or hardcore, depending on the BPM, and just changing the BPM of it. But I'd like to. I generally look at hardcore as just harder. You know what I mean? It just, and that's simply because it's faster. It creates, like you were saying, like a feel of it being harder and darker because it's faster, and you a lot more sound because it's just played a lot faster.
Hardcore vibes. Yay. Hardcore vibes.
That's a good song.
Yes, it is. Old track too.
Yeah.
So personally, what is your favorite thing about hardcore? Why is it that you stuck with it for so long?
I think it's the intensity. Man, like I've never came across any other genre. And I listen to a butt ton of electronic music, and of all sorts and kinds. And I've never come across a genre that's as intense as hardcore. It's a weird feeling to describe. It's just the sound, the vocals, everything about the genre itself. It's just something that comes from inside, and it's just that pent up like energy and pent up power that is all released in like a single moment. It's kind of like a supernova type idea. It's just that intensity that you just can't explain.
Sounds primal.
Exactly, it's that primal like rage and the feeling of it, and that it's attractive to me as a genre because it blows my mind. It gives you think back of your primal instincts, and your those pure emotions, and that's what it is for me. It grabs me.
Into that for you.
Exactly, it grabs me in that aspect.
For myself, it's, oh man, this is such a tricky question to answer. It's kind of like what Eric was saying, and just the way it hits me and the way I feel. Like I said, when I first got into hardcore, I just heard it and instantly fell in love with it. I just loved it. This crazy euphoric happy feeling I got when I listened to this, and how I just wanted to it literally, like Eric was talking about, this whole image we'd like to set for people to just come have fun, lose yourself, and that's exactly what it did for me when I came introduced to hardcore. I lost myself. I'd forget about life for the time being, and just enjoy myself in the present moment, and I just can't get enough of it. Like I said, it's my life. I listen to this all the time. I wake up in the morning and I listen to hardcore. Some people don't understand how I do this, but I do. I could listen to hardcore to fall asleep and take a nap, or just full on fall asleep for the night. I love the stuff. I don't know what else to say about that. I
remember I was getting ready for school, and I was I had to go to an 8:30 class, and I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning. My roommate just came home from working an overnight shift, and I'm getting ready, and I'm listening to this new Endymion mix. I think it was a recording from the Dominator, from the Dominator set of Endymion and Nosferatu at 6 o'clock in the morning. He comes through the door and is how are you listening to that type of music at 6 o'clock in the morning? I'm like, dude, I've played this type of music at 6 o'clock in the morning. Yep. It's therapy. It's like coffee in music form. You wake up in the morning, and that's what you gotta have. It gets you going.
All right. Follow-up question. You're stuck on a desert island and you're only allowed one song. Which one is it?
Oh my god. Honestly, I'd have to come back in like a month from thinking it to answer that question. Like, I really don't know. Honestly, like, if I had to choose right now, it'd probably be Dicks, Pussies, and Assholes from The Playa. Like, I just love that track. Like, people used to get friggin' like enraged by me when I first started mixing because I would always play that song, and I love it. I could recite the whole breakdown, like, word for word. I just love it.
For me, I go back and forth between favorite tracks. Every now and then I'll go, this is my favorite track of the time, and then I'll find another track that just kind of blows my mind.
Yeah.
But the one track that really sticks out, and if I had to be stuck in a desert island and pick out one song to listen to over and over again, right now I'll have to say it'd be the anthem for this year's Masters of Hardcore, done again by The Playa, called Eternal.
That's funny. They're both The Playa tracks.
Yeah, that track is amazing. Like, I've never heard somebody use a synthesizer that well in a track. It's explosive. It's just nuts.
That's pretty cool.
And strippers.
Sure,
You need help. You need help, for Christ's sake. We're getting you help after this.
Stripper help.
Oh, God.
This is not going to be a PG episode. Sorry, folks.
My fault. My bad.
So, I mean, we've got a big show coming up later this year. The Overdrive presents Deathmatch, where, in a weird sense, you guys are actually being pinned up against one another.
Hey, that was your idea.
I know it was my idea. So here begs the question: are the Maniacs gonna kind of turn on each other, or is this gonna be more of an individual thing? Is this gonna be an Eric versus Damien type of thing?
So I like to think
that's an interesting question.
Yeah, I know, right? I like to think of it as this my ultimate fight where these two gladiators get these guys have been growing up in the ranks of the Coliseum, and they've just been put up against one another because they've killed everybody else in the tournament. And it's that big epic fight that everybody goes nuts for, and it's like the season finale TV show or something like that. I'm sorry, I've been watching all this Parkus lately.
Wow, we're really badasses, eh? Wow, damn.
Like, do you guys need breastplates and swords? Is this what you're telling me?
Dude, that's a good idea.
I don't know if I want to mix wearing that, man. That's gonna be some heavy gear.
The shit that I say, man, surprises even me sometimes.
Personally, I think it's gonna be it's like in any sort of head-to-head not combat but competition, let's say, regardless of whether it's like actually fighting or anything. It's interesting because like we're friends, you know what I mean? Like we've partied together, we've known each other for a while, and we always have a good time together.
Who are you again?
What do you mean? Who am I again? Oh, nice. This is what I have to work with. God damn. FML. But like realistically, regardless of the outcome, like we're gonna have a good time, and we're gonna fuck with each other, man. That's not gonna be any different from our day-to-day friendship. Like it's just gonna be on a stage for a bunch of people, and it's just gonna be a hell of a time and nitpicking at each other, and it's all for fun. You know what I mean? It's gonna be just.
And we talked about it a couple weeks ago. Like, so what we're going to be doing for that show? I think like we said, I've got no idea. But I think a really funny thing that we should do is we just not talk about it and have it be let's just wing it and have a complete surprise. Because then we get the reaction that we're looking for. Perfect. And oh man, do I have ideas?
Perfect. I love it. Absolutely love it. So when's the first time we get to see the Maniacs perform together?
Actually, you can see us play on this Friday coming up on May 2nd.
May 2nd. Where?
At the Coquelin Pub on Spark Street in Ottawa.
Sweet.
The event's called Planet Terror. It's going to be a hell of a time.
Yeah, we got guys who have been in the scene for a while, like D-Mize and D-Dot, and even have Joro joining us for a hardstyle set too. So that should be a banger.
Sweet. Perfect. So, with that, we're going to jump into the United Maniacs set for the show, and we'll see what these guys are all about, and I guess we'll say our goodbyes when we come back in about, I don't know how long your set is. I haven't listened to it, to be perfectly honest. So, the life of a record owner, the record label owner, you don't have a whole lot of time to do anything anymore. Anyways, I'm rambling, so I'm gonna stop rambling and let's just get right into it.
Yay!
Death.
What now? Don't keep up, down. What now? Don't keep faith in this world. And we disconnected ourselves from the masses. Our dedication for this music is true. I hope the world is ready for us, because we're coming. This is our dedication for this music. Across the nation, with a self-determination, comes our dedication for this music. See me grind, fuck it up and break shit. Move it, abuse it, don't like it, screw this. I wanna see you fuckers lose it. For this music.
this nutsack.
What you say, what you fuck what you say, what you think.
Sign on the dotted line.
Just like that. Just like that. It's about time we did this. We gon' set it off. There ain't no stopping us, motherfuckers. Drop the bombs. Motherfuckers. just like that.
Don't let him stop. Don't let him stop. Don't let him stop. Yeah, we just play this song. Yeah, rock. Yeah, I'm in my car and I don't give a fuck. Sipping on this cup 'cause it always keep me up. Bring me love, keep me tough. Like an angel, yeah, I fly right up in the sky. This is my time, dancing with the devil. Wish that I could go to heaven, but these demons keep me down. Yeah, I'm drowning level 7, 11. I can't read, hear them calling, get them. Try to catch him now, but he's fast, burning leather. Chin Dutch rapping for my Euro girls all around the world, 'cause we need to get heard. I said, don't let him stop, yeah. DJ play the song, yeah, rock, yeah. I'm in my car and I don't give a fuck. Sipping on this stuff 'cause it always keep me up. Bring me up, keep me tough. Yeah, you know what's up. Every time around here we can get enough. Time going crazy, wanna see my stuff, so I give it to him. DJ turn it up.
Enemy soul to pray. You better watch your back, cause I'm fucking up your program.
So I'd like to thank the United Maniacs for swinging by and providing us with an awesome mix. Maniacs, where can people check you out?
You guys can check us out at facebook.com/theunitedmaniacs. We also did a mix for a podcast called Capital Hardcore, which is on YouTube. And, you can check us out, and you can definitely see us later. Like we're going to be pushing out, and we're going to be you're going to be seeing a lot of our faces. As ugly as our faces are, you're going to be seeing a lot of them.
Well, thankfully you guys are wearing masks.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say this is probably one of the good points why we have this. If you're looking on the Capital Hardcore, it's number 9. Don't be shy to check out the other mixes. Awesome mixes on there from all sorts of other artists. Some local, some not. Definitely a good thing to check out. Like Eric was saying, Facebook page. We're gonna try and keep updating it and adding stuff on there for you guys to enjoy. Hopefully recording some more mixes, pressing them out for you guys to have some good listening mixes at home and whatnot.
Yeah, well, aside from that, I'd like to give a shout out to our boss man Type Zero for having us over.
My pleasure.
It was our pleasure to be here, man. We really appreciate it. It's good for us, and it's fun to hang out and have a good time.
Absolutely. So be sure to check out the United Maniacs. I guess your debut set May 2nd at the Cock and Lion here in Ottawa. And going head-to-head.
What time do we play at again?
We're playing at midnight.
Midnight.
Yeah, it's a zombie party. Zombie party.
Don't be trying to be there earlier for the other people, but make sure to at least be there for midnight.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, with that wraps up this episode. So I guess we'll see you guys on the next episode in 3 weeks' time. You guys have yourself a good day, evening, weekend, whenever this may be that you're actually listening to this.
And strippers!
And yes, we're going to go get Eric some strippers now.
Oh, God.
Damien, take off your clothes.
Again?
You've been listening to Raw Tactics, hosted by myself, Type Zero, available as a free download on overdrivecanada.com.